Hi, my loves. This is Raven from Raven's Reviews, and welcome back to my channel. Today, love is most definitely in the air. Maniology just sent over the most romantic PR package, so we are going to dive right into that and get into all of the goodies. But hold on, this isn't just a sweet Valentine stamping. We've got a little sass for those who aren't feeling the love. So we have all of the Valentines and anti-Valentine's magic coming your way with the most darling stamping plates. But first, I just went through their Duochrome. This is their 3-piece polish set, and the colors were so darling with such a gorgeous shift. You know me, I am all things fairy and magic, and let me tell you, that 3-piece kit was screaming to me, also giving me all of the Valentine's vibes, because whether you'd be blue without your Valentine, or you're feeling the pinks and purples, that Sandy Beach set has literally everything you need. As I was geeking out over all of the goodies, I can't forget to mention they sent a brand new ice cube crystal clear jelly stamper and a scraper, which I'm freaking out. Good things come in small packages. Though this little scraper is tiny, she mighty. I was so impressed. Later on in the video, you're going to see a full stamping tutorial with one of the plates. And I was losing it over the fact of how well it fit in the hand. And I felt like I almost got a perfect scrape and stamp every time. My success rate was almost 90%, being able to pick up almost every single image. So y'all, we're figuring this out. And just when you think it can't get any better, Maniology blew me away with this silicone stamping mat. Now, this mat retails on their website for $16 US, which I think is an absolute steal of a deal. This thing is so strong. You can use 100% acetone, you can do your swatches on her, you can test out your colors or designs. I was just losing it, and the aesthetic, like when I open her up, y'all are gonna scream, this is like my heart and soul. All the gothic magic, I was just losing it. And you can already tell by the packaging, you can kind of get a glimpse into what it's gonna look like because it has all of those moths. And let me tell you, I need to do a full nail set that is just an inspiration from that silicone mat. Is insane. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the mat as soon as we open her up. But without further ado, here are the 2 Valentine's inspired plates that they sent over. This plate is so stunning. Meet your favorite Valentine stamping plate. This is called Opposites Attract M045. You can put that in the search engine, and within seconds, you will be able to have this plate as well. Now, I am freaking out because this is a mix of Valentine's love and anti-Valentine's mischief. I love that you can mix these up and have a cheeky breakup design or a romantic. Many in seconds. I am over the moon. But for you storybook romance gals and misters and everybody in between, there's this. And I am losing it over this storybook romantic plate. Now, I am a huge avid reader. Romance is one of my favorite genres alongside supernatural. And when I can find a mix of a supernatural romance, girl, that is just heaven. But growing up on Disney and watching movies like Beauty and the Beast and just all of these fairy tale romance books and movies, it truly just gives you all of the feels. So I thought that plate was absolutely darling. That plate is definitely a fairy tale come to life, and I am just obsessed. Now I am quickly swatching the Duochrome 3-piece Sandy Beach polish set. That is a mouthful. But y'all, I can't get over how smooth the polishes were, how fast drying. I was just over the moon. So I thought we're going to do some things for this set. So first of all, I wanted to showcase the 3 colors that they sent over, but I also wanted to do one nail that's an ombre, and then I wanted to have one nail with their Bam White so that I could do some fun reverse stamping using some of the new colors and just having really fun and creating a cohesive set. So that's what we're gonna do. Without further ado, let's get into this magical and very romantic set. What made this filming extra special is I popped on one of my favorite fantasy romance movies, and it's called Penelope. This movie came out when I was 16 years old. Back in 2006. So watching it now, almost 20 years later, I was so surprised at, first of all, how well it aged. There was not very much wrong with it. Like, there was nothing terribly problematic. No more than what's normally in anything to deal with the 2000s. But it was just so refreshing to watch something that was so special to me when I was younger, and it still holds such a big part of my heart. So I had so much fun watching the movie and swatching and playing with these goodies. For anybody that doesn't know about the movie Penelope, it's actually about a young woman that was born with the snout of a pig. Now Penelope, played by Christina Ricci, spends life literally a virtual prisoner in her home, believing the only way to break the curse is to marry one of her own kind. That had to be a gentleman of royal blood. They go about the matchmaking and finding her perfect suitor in a very comical way, but it's very quick you get the heart of Penelope, and you can just tell she's very lonely and just so tired of being judged by something that she cannot control. And ultimately, by the end of the movie, you find out that she doesn't need anybody else's love except for her own self-love to break the curse. And it really goes back to you have to love yourself before you love somebody else. So I always loved it, and getting to watch it while playing with these Maniology goodies it just made it so incredibly special. As promised, when I fully took out the silicone mat, I wanted to get into talking about it, read through their write-up on their website, and just talk about how I felt about the mat. So the moment I unveiled her, rolled her out like a red carpet, my heart absolutely jumped out of my chest. We had to go call the surgeon to put it back in there. It was a whole thing. But for real, in all seriousness, I was so blown away by this silicone mat. I knew I was gonna love it, but actually physically holding it and getting to work on it was a whole nother experience. At first, I actually thought that it was white, but it's actually more translucent. And what really stands out is the intricate detailing that they have on the mat, which includes little phalanges both in white and black so that you can swatch on top of it if you might have a color that is pearlescent or has a chrome to it. You can see what it looks like under different backgrounds. You can also practice your stamping on the nail. So the options are endless. But the fact that you can use 100% acetone on it without degrading the silicone is that huge game-changing moment. Because as you guys know, when you're doing stamping, you most definitely need your 100% acetone. And potentially working on a surface that acetone will eat through is an absolute nightmare. So having a clear surface that you can just work on and also potentially swatch on. If you're doing reverse stamping, you can put your polishes on there so that you can have a quick, easy, clean space to pull from. Like, the options are just endless. On the website, it says, "The Lotus Mat is the ultimate nail workspace. Using the finger templates, you can create and plan out designs, or use them to make do-it-yourself nail decals and more. Pick a lotus petal to swatch or mix custom colors, or use the ruler to measure out stickers, tapes, or chain. To clean, simply wipe with acetone or polish remover with a lint-free paper towel or cotton pad." For the work I'm doing today, I actually took a kitchen, I like to call it a kitchen roll or kitchen towel, but that's because I'm heavily influenced by the UK, paper towel. And I actually put that underneath the Lotus Mat so that when I do scrape any of the images, I'm able to just put the excess polish on there. And I was so impressed with this setup. I used way less paper towel. I was just able to freely create, and I was actually finding that I didn't have the polish drying on the plate. I didn't have any issues of you're trying to grab this and trying to move this. Having such a clear workspace, it just allowed me to work so effortlessly. And that's why you actually see in the beginning, I'm dying laughing here, I was taking out the scraper, I had my lint roller, I had all of the polishes, I literally set everything out so that as I prepared to pick up each image, I was able to just place the polish, scrape, and then immediately grab that jelly stamper, roll that on, and then we have our image. At first, I think due to my own chronic pain and the nerve damage in my arms, I was going a little bit too slow, and that's again because I am somebody who is more proficient and used to working with gel. And this is also what makes this so incredibly exciting, because now I'm learning a new medium. I'm learning what works better, and I'm just having so much fun learning the art of nail lacquer and the art of stamping. Now, I have to say a huge shout out to Girly Nails 66. She is a dear friend and nail sister. She is also a fellow Canadian. But I have been learning so much about stamping through her channel. Now, I used to think stamping was something that was so far out of reach that I could never do it. And you might be listening to that and laughing, being like, you do character art, why couldn't you do that? And that is because stamping is so intimidating. I understand that Maniology does all of the hard work with providing such intricate plates, but it's also the technique. You can't just slap on polish and try to pick it up and Bob's your uncle. There's actually techniques and ways that you need to apply the polish, the way you have to do your scrape at a 45-degree angle, all of these things that set you up for the most flawless stamp. But it's also very easy also using poor products. I was originally using a jelly stamper that was horrible, but in that, it creates a perfect storm where you can't pick up any images, and it's just very disheartening, and it truly just leaves you with this taste in your mouth that there's no way you're going to be able to accomplish or do anything with stamping. And that's really where I was at. And I would watch my nail sisters like Suzanne, Sandra, Mama, and Priya, and I would literally, just my jaw would be on the floor, and I'd be like, well, I can't do that. But after going through Girly Nail 66, Suzanne's page, and watching the detail, like she has specific detailed stamping tutorials and how to reverse stamp, how to shrink your images, just all sorts. And also this flat out, which I included it in my first PR unboxing, but I'll include it in this, which is a complete just how to stamp, get back to the basics. And I would not be able to do what I'm doing right now, picking up any images without watching that video. It was so transformative for me that after watching her video and then trying and having actual good quality products, it was a huge light bulb moment. And now I'm so obsessed. I am still learning so much every day with stamping, of course, because this is something completely new in my nail game, in my nail repertoire. But I am losing it over how fun it is to stamp. I think the big lesson when it comes to learning any kind of new craft or anything in life in general is you're not going to walk out doing something being perfect at it. You're just not. And if you allow that to stop you from trying new things, then you will never learn anything new in your life. And I think, especially with social media and other things that we're bombarded with, which is all of these people who are experts and perfect at it, again, they had to stumble. They had to learn and grow to be where they are today. And I don't think we give ourselves enough grace to do things wrong before we can get it right. So especially already last year was my year of yes. But especially with 2025 just rolling in all magical and ish, I really wanted to focus on certain things that might make me nervous or make me scared and just dive in 2 feet first, head first, what have you. However we're getting in the pool, we're getting in the pool. Because if I allow that fear that it's not going to be perfect, I'll never do it. And I think that was something really holding me back when it comes to stamping. And it's almost like a nightmare because the one live that I ended up doing, the stamping practice with Priya, I mentioned this before, but I got so just scared, nervous. I spent almost an hour trying to pick up one image. It was just really deflating. And Priya was doing so amazing, and she was sharing tips and tricks, and the other nail sisters in the chat, Mama and Gina and everybody, they were sharing tips as well, and Tara Nicole. But I was just literally sitting there, and I felt like I was in the hot seat, and it wasn't in a good way. But now, being able to actually grasp what it is to stamp, and especially learning that from Suzanne, like those specific technique points and pointers, it is a complete other ball game. Now, I do understand with this one, I was just trying to fill in the edges to kind of make it longer, and realistically with the spaces in between, I should have went in and kind of wiped that area, but it was all polish on polish. I hadn't did a gel polish in between so that I could wipe it off without ending up wiping out the background. So we kind of made her work, but I am still ridiculously impressed with how all the stamps are turning out and the color story. Together, this is giving me all of the sweetheart, all of the Valentine's vibes, and I am living for it. Now, down in the comments, I would love to know, out of these 2 plates, which one is your favorite and which one would you pick up? And speaking of that, if any of these products you're thinking, oh my lord, oh my Lanta, I need this right meow, well, you can use my discount code RAVENART for 10% off. And let me tell you, I was looking through because I wanted to grab some goodies, and I put my code in, and I was so impressed just looking at each item and how much I was getting off. Every little bit adds up. And already these plates are so ridiculously affordable. They are about $8 each. And on some of their clearance items, they have $3 plates. So there's no reason, if you want to get your stamping journey started, you need to run on over to Maniology. I'm actually thinking about everything. I'm very excited that they reached out to me when they did, because it truly was the beginning of the year. Like the beginning of the new year. So now I can kind of mark 2025 as my stamping journey. Obviously, that is not the only nail art I'm going to do. I love doing all kinds of different nail art. But I think sometimes people do sleep on stamping. And especially coming from a chronic pain perspective, this is game changing. Like, you can get the most intricate, beautiful designs, and you do not have to hurt yourself or kill yourself to try to do it. I'm pretty transparent about my own chronic illness and chronic pain and what that means for me as an artist. And that truly is understanding my limitations and working with those things so that I can soar higher and never, how do I say it? I don't allow those limitations to keep me back. I just work around them. So I am able to do some incredibly intricate work, but that's with my dominant hand. And when I try to do certain things with my non-dominant hand, with all the nerve damage that I have in my arms, it turns out, it's like sometimes I can do certain things that turn out nice, but the intricacies of my mind, it's very hard to get that onto my right hand. So now, having these beautiful stamping plates, it's kind of like the sky is the limit. I definitely, when I'm able to, want to do a haul where I can get things like their French stamping plate. They have ones that are actually the full nail, that you can do marble designs and all of these different things and just stamp that right onto your nail as the color. There's just so many different things that you can do. And I just think, personally for me, the fact that I can do insanely cool hand-painted designs on my left hand, and then I can actually just stamp on my right, it just takes this worry out of my mind that I had, and I didn't even realize how much anxiety I was having over, well, what am I going to do with my right hand? That's not just one color, because that gets old really fast, and we have such a vast of nail products and stickers and cat eyes and glitters and just all of the goodies that you want to put that pizzazz to your nails, right? And I feel that Maniology really unlocks that self-expression without having to compromise. So it's not, okay, well, I have all of these amazing things in my mind, but I'm going to do one color because the pain, I physically can't do it. It's like, well, now you can, because you can do all of the picking up of the stamps with your dominant hand. You can do all the scraping, all of that stuff, and then place it with your non-dominant hand. And the fact that they have their crystal clear stampers, that's literally a window into the galaxy of nail art magic, your portal, you can literally place with such precision. I'm just obsessed. So y'all, you already hear it in my voice. I am losing it because I'm just so happy. But this is why I encourage, especially with any kind of art, self-expression, to just have fun with it. And as you're having fun, you don't realize, but you're learning and you're strengthening skills. And you'll take everything that you learn and each and every set that you do in the future. It's like you have those little building blocks that started today. So I hope that you guys are stamping alongside me and having so much fun, because this is going to be one heck of a magical ride. I want to say a huge thank you to Maniology for sending over these goodies that have touched my heart. They are absolutely perfect for the romantic season that is upon us, and I can't wait to do so many beautiful sets with these intricate, beautiful plates. Between the castles, glass slippers, and all things dreamy, to the sass and the cheeky breakup designs, like the love is in the air with a gas mask. These plates are so epic, and I just cannot wait to have so much fun creating all of the designs. Now, I got so excited talking about everything, all the goodies, and my stamping journey that I actually wasn't able to talk about the sticky base. I actually put the sticky base on the ombre nail, and I let that dry, and then I placed down the design, and I was so impressed at the grip and how strong that sticky base coat is. So do not sleep on that. If you are ever having issues where maybe your stamps are coming through patchy, or it's actually just sliding off, like it's not adhering to the nail, I would really encourage you to grab that sticky base coat. It is amazing. Now, first I picked up the Kiss Me You Fool, but it wasn't giving me the vibes that I wanted. So I did go back in and I ended up getting the Happy V-Day. But I did mix it up and I put the Love Stinks bear on the nail as well, because I thought that it just added the va-va-voom that we were looking for. Thank you, beautiful humans, for coming into today's unboxing, swatch party, and full demo using the Opposites Attract stamping plate. All the information for this plate and all the other goodies unboxed and played with today will be in the description box below, alongside the discount code. Thank you guys so much for making today's video so incredibly special. And please comment, share this with a friend, and hit that subscription bell if you're not already subscribed. What you waiting for? It is not only free, baby, but this is the best safe space love fest of all things nails. And I think that we get inspired by one another, so how magical it is to be able to support each other. So you gotta click the button to be a part of the family, okay? Thank you guys so much again, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Now that the stamping is all done, we are going to take the smudge resistant top coat, which I am so in love with. You can be all luscious with her and put a heavy doppel on your nail, and you don't have to worry about smudging all of that hard work that you just did. So I am just going to get into all of those finishing touches and we can admire the set together. But thank you again for coming in. And the rest of this is just going to be a watch me work. I love you guys oh so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Mwah.